Is rooting dead? Huh. Is jailbreaking dead? Let's talk.
Shouldn't cry, but I love it. Start
What is the deal, beautiful people? It's your boy Ramon, Lifestyles Defined. Welcome back to another episode of AMA. If you are new here, you don't know how this works, you leave your question in the comment section down below, and we answer it in upcoming videos. So today's question comes from KiixGod. May he sound familiar, aka Tawann. And he says, my question, good sir, is as follows. With the current state of mobile devices, for example, Apple's iPhone, Google's Android, can we say that rooting is more or less as well as jailbreaking is dead or dying or is dead? Well, I think that's a very interesting question. I think it depends on where you come from, right? So if you look at both the concept behind rooting and jailbreaking, it exists to enhance, to make something better that the OEM or Google or Apple, you can't say OEM when talking about Apple, but something that they didn't get right and you thought could be better, something that they're not doing that you think should exist. That's what the jailbreaking and rooting is all about. In the later years, I would say in the last 2 years, I think, and I want to say this, lightly, I think it's been dying, or I don't think that's the right way to say it. I think it's been less popular or less needed. I think it's been less needed because the experience from the core OS, whether you're talking Apple or iOS or you're talking Android, I think it's getting really, really good. And people are just really they open a box and they put their information and they use the damn phone. We're getting that good. Now, in all fairness, Apple's been there for a very long time. Very, very long time. So that bit of conversation right there at the end mostly applies to Android, because Android can be a clusterfuck, and even today it still can be a clusterfuck. I mean, when I unboxed my Galaxy S8 Plus, it took me like 10-15 minutes to get to the goddamn home screen. You had to sign into Google, and then from Google you had to sign into AT&T shit, and then when you were done that, Samsung still had some shit to sign into. It was like, yo, what the hell is this? I mean, let's not get it twisted here. Apple's sign-in process is pretty long as well, but I think a lot of the annoyances that people hate about the vanilla OS is there now. For instance, Apple included Control Center, and that made it easy to get to certain functions. And then in the new iOS 11, they added a bunch more stuff that people were crying for in Control Center. And oddly enough, ironically enough, if you look at the jailbreaking community, Apple has a thing for taking, as much as they hate jailbreaking and they try to stop it, Apple has a thing for taking features from the jailbreaking community and putting it in the later versions of iOS. So I think that's a bit of ironic on its own. In the Android world, I look at Nexus. You buy a Nexus or a Pixel, and Google's experience is good enough to not want to install anything else. Like the launcher is good, the notification curtain's fine, all that stuff works fine. It's tastefully done, it's beautiful, and I think it's okay. Maybe if you get a Samsung like I did, you find yourself installing a different launcher and some theme to get away from the buffoonery that Samsung is doing. But that never really required a root, which is just shows the brute strength and versatility of Android. But what I will say on the Android end is, I often find huge value in being able to root Android phone and put a ROM on it, because these guys, they just get so much more out of the phone than even Google or the OEM could have achieved. We're talking battery life. We're talking screaming performance, camera tweaks that the OEMs may or may not want it to do. It's a bunch of dope shit that happens in that world. And although I think by and large, as Samsung continues to push Android into the consumer world, and I would bet that a lot of something like 98% of Galaxy S owners, or any Galaxy really, they don't know what a root is. They don't care what a root is. They bought an Android, and whatever Samsung did was good enough for them. But I don't ever want to see rooting in the Android world die. I think it definitely has its place, man. And the thing I like about rooting as well is you can take a 2-3-year-old device and just bring it to life with a new ROM. So I don't think it's dying. I don't think the jailbreak is dying. If anything, over there in the iOS world, they might be running out of ways to do jailbreaks to come up with, because Apple is, one, stealing all of their previous shit, and two, I mean, it's the experience is so good out the box, they're running out of things to add to the experience. So yeah, thank you, sir, for your question. For everyone else, the deal. Leave your comment down below, join the conversation, like the video if you like it, don't forget to subscribe. My name is Ramon, and I'm out of here. Peace. If I had to describe Lifestyles Defined, I would say it is a dream come true to have a platform where we can talk about the things that we love, and we can share with people who also love the things we love the way we love, and just have conversations that matter and go back and forth and grow as a community. It's been a pleasure. It's been a dream, and I just want to thank everyone that's involved for rocking out with us.
Coming from the deep forest into the sun.